All right, gentlemen, I hope everybody is having a good day. We are here on the Assault, and we're going to be talking about your best option for pushing the later waves in Siege. There's no question about it. This is the hardest class to push higher waves, and it's due to the fact because of your survivability. Eventually, it's basically going to probably be too much, but this is going to give you your best chance for survivability. You're going to have to drop off some of your damage perks, but honestly, it don't even matter. Your problem isn't damage. It's being able to get your damage off is really going to be the main issue. So when we're looking at our prestige perks here, we're taking adrenaline boost, we're taking fortitude, we're taking scramble targeting, and we're taking unyielding oath. So if you have to, you're going to have to drop one of these for duelist if you really need to, but I do suggest at least trying to keep unyielding oath because you are going to be taking advantage of this. Now, you're looking at the build. Guys, honestly, I thought the dash build was going to be the route to take when it came to Siege mode, but after going through it with the Assault, that is definitely not the way you're going to want to go. It's not going to be enough in the higher stages of the wave. So basically, just use your dodge. You're still going to be 50% better with your dodge, so that's only like half as bad as what your dash was, but you're going to lose that, going through the enemies causing a lot of damage. So you're going to lose that, but we're going to gain some survivability. So the reason we're not taking armor reinforcement here in our first core perk, which is a good survivability perk for like operations and things, is because at the higher waves, these gun strikes become extremely hard to get off, guys, and the odds of you using this at the higher waves is very, very slim. So we take overcharge because not only is this going to give us the extra damage we want, but we're going to be using our charge charge hits a lot in the power fists. And with the 25% extra damage on it, it's actually going to give you more contested health back. So that's why we're taking that one. And then we're going consecutive execution to kill 7 enemies. Will restore your equipment. That is a very good one. And then perseverance is going to give you some knockback resistance. It's okay. It's a lot. Like, you're not going to take crazy knockbacks, but it doesn't just keep you back there like strategic stand or something. But it does help, and it is going to give you that 25% less health damage while you are charging up your charge shots. And like I said, when you're doing your charge hits, you're going to be doing charge hits all the time. Even if you're just doing like a quick charge, just that's the way you're going to have to keep some kind of damage resistance on your class. And then we have strategic strikes. You want this to go against extremists, mostly for the extremist enemies. And as I said before, the gun strikes are just increasingly hard to get off in the later waves. We have Hammer of Wrath. This is going to give, this did improve. I think it's okay, but when you tie it to the ground pound with this, it's a lot better because you're going to get your ground pound at a pretty good pace. And we'll talk about kind of what you need to take to make Zealous Blow work a little better. You need high cleave. And then we have Hammer of Wrath. That will give you some knockback resistance for 15 seconds, and it's going to give you, more importantly, the 20% less range damage for 15 seconds as well. You want Zealous Blow because you're going to want to take the Power Fist either in the balance or the blocking version because you want high cleave so you can kill as many enemies every time you ground pound. You guys know how many enemies are on the map when you are in the later waves. So this is going to help you just continuously get your ground pound back. You can go up into the air now, use your 3 seconds of invulnerability, and just, as much as you can, you're going to be trying to use this, and then you're wanting to keep your 20% range up, your knockback resistance, and things like that. And then we are going with a fully prepared ground pound, deals 20% more damage. And our last one here is Ascension. You're always taking off in groups. This does do pretty decent damage, so this is going to help out as well. So as I said before, guys, I really was under the impression that the dash build was going to be the way to go because it gives you such amazing boss damage. But I feel like it's really hard to run that build in the later waves, and it seems like this gives you a little more success and a little more survivability that you're looking for. So with all the survivability that we have on here, which isn't a lot, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's still gonna be extremely challenging. And so we have the 25% for our less health damage while we're charging our attacks, and then we have our 20% less range damage after our ground pounds, and then we're basically tying all this to the Power Fist. You're going to have to run the Power Fist because these are going to give you some of the best survivability perks that you have access to. You are going to take the heavy attacks. We'll give you 100% more contested health because you can get to your back fist extremely fast, especially when you're using this following blow right here. And with the 100%, it does make a difference in actually gaining your contested health back. You have the increased charge attacks as well, so make sure everything you're doing is a charged attack, even if you're barely charging up to go into it, because that's giving you your resistances and it's giving you your increased contested health gain. And then we are taking, when your health is below 30%, you take 50% less health damage. So that's another one that you're tying with your other charge that is like, what is it, 25%? So when you're under 30%, you are going to notice when you are charging up your shots, you will take very, very low damage. It's just, the thing is, in the higher waves, guys, they hit so hard that it's, you know, it's not as noticeable as you want it to be, honestly. So you are taking that one right there with the power fist to grab the 30% at 50%. And then also, this is another important one: while performing heavy attacks, you take 20% less range damage. So, you know, after the ground pound, and then when performing heavy attacks, you're going to be at like 40% less range damage. It's just a lot you have to do and keep up on the class constantly. But you're going to get your ground pounds pretty fast to keep that one up. And then I did want to grab the Majorist right here, because we are losing some overall damage, just overall in the class. And this one right here, you know, this one sounds good, but getting the back fist 2 and the thrust jab 2 is kind of hard. It's like a 3-hit combo or a 4-hit combo, so it's kind of hard to get to those two, so we won't take advantage of that as much. So that's why I've elected to go with the 10% to Majorist enemies. So yeah, I think the power fist, guys, is going to give you the best chance of survival, and I am recommending either the balanced version or the blocking version, because of the high cleave. You're going to want the high cleave for the ground pound to refill extremely quick. If you're taking something like the fencing, which is only 2 cleave, when you do your ground pounds to kill your enemies, to regain your health, or to regain your charge back, you're not going to kill that many enemies because your cleave's so low. So you really need to hit a lot of people. The 4+ is good on the balance. It's not bad, but obviously the 7 cleave on the blocking ones is extremely good, and you can really refill it up really fast. Now, if you do have to take the fencing version of these for whatever reason, you're probably going to want to switch off to maneuverability, because I think that will end up giving you more, you know what I'm saying? I think you'll get your jump dash or your jump pack faster using this, opposed to trying to use this with only 2 cleave. But if you're taking the 4+ cleave or the 7 cleave, that one should be good, and you know how packed the map is, guys. So you can get your ground pound off and get a lot of your charge back every single time you use it. So that's going to be your best way. That's the best way I'm seeing. And you can go with the heavy bolt pistol. Honestly, I prefer the heavy bolt pistol. It gives you a little bit more survivability with just the rate of fire and, you know, the damage that it does do. But it's still not going to be great. So you can kind of tie it to your class ability if you want. If you're using the ground pound a lot, like you can get this thing very, very often. You can run it like this, or if you rather, you can take the top row and go straight for the headshot damage, and then dip down for the increased capacity on your magazine. For me, this is how I'm running it right now in the class. I'm using my ground pound a lot, so I'm just going to take advantage of the 20% damage afterwards. But even though, honestly, guys, I'm using the power fist a lot. I'm trying to do everything possible to survive, and I'm trying to make it to where you don't have to dash and dodge all around. But honestly, at the higher waves, it's almost inevitable that is going to happen. It almost happens with every class, but it happens even worse for this class right here, and it's pretty tough to get through it, guys. But I think this will help out a lot, and you will definitely know if you have not been tying all like the damage reduction on the power fist to your damage reduction right here in your core perks and things like that, you will notice a difference for a while throughout the hard siege waves. You will notice a difference. It's going to help you survive. Definitely when you get very low on health, you will notice that they are not doing much damage when you are charging up your attacks. But I'm not, you know, it's still going to be an uphill battle when it comes to the assault on siege mode. He needs some he's going to need some help with some of these patches coming out. So hopefully they do tweak him, maybe, since they're not really doing any major things with this next patch. Maybe they can go in here and at least go in and change something with some of how some of his perks work. I'm trying to think of how they can really do it to they'd have to do something to where your ground pound is a better source of contested health. As in, okay, like maybe if I took off with my ground pound, my contested health automatically suspends. And then when that's suspended, then they have it to now set up to where each target you hit is automatically giving you 30% contested health. So that's really what they need to do. I kind of wish like maybe this prestige perk, when charging your ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. Maybe if this suspended your contested health for 3 seconds as well, then I think that this, it would help out even a lot more with the class, and you would actually be able to see your contested health start to get contested, take off into your ground pound, have invulnerability while you're up there, your contested health will suspend, and then you can go down and get a bunch of contested health back. But that is really the only fix that I could see that they could really do to help with health. So, yeah, that's the best option I got for them. But overall, guys, it will be a difficult task. You are going to have, you're going to have some survivability issues with the class, but I'm not going to lie. If you've been maining this class since day one, guys, it's nothing you're really not used to. It's an uphill battle with them, but I think some people can do it. That are higher skilled than me, I would say. But I did have some success. This helped me push further through the waves than I was able to without this build, and trying things with the Thunderhammer and trying things with a bunch of other weapons that just were lacking way too much survivability to really push high with the Assault.